Unless it's Guarani, somehow. Yes, this is definitely the humbling of Poland. So Ulm, mighty Ulm, is holding on to Vilnius at the moment. We have the Muscovy on their own. Oh no, that's definitely a trap. With Finland holding the Finnish territories to the north. Brandenburg still not doing a huge amount. They're maintaining their rather hefty over force limits army. Coalition forces are down here, splitting up a little bit. How is Trier's war enthusiasm? It's extremely high, so Brandenburg at the moment just kind of biding their time before they attack again, but they are going to be taking a fair amount of debt in the process. And of course, those are 30,000 troops that Poland's really going to want to have in this war. We've got 50,000 Muscovites now. I mean, seeing this war raging right now, this could be a great opportunity for Oirat to pounce and go after them. Is no guy a vassal or anything? No, just a tributary and Great Horde. I forgot about that. Now, I wonder if any of the other European states are going to be looking at this conflict with a little bit of concern, seeing Muscovy starting to encroach upon the Polish-Lithuanian buffer that lies between them. Weren't wrong about influence being a bad pick for Poland. Yeah, it was not the best choice. But then again, this is me, and I really don't like influence and diplomatic ideas. I don't think I've ever used them. But then this is also me who says that maritime is ridiculously strong, and I am definitely in the minority in saying that. But I stand by it. It is really, really strong. There's a 45,000 stack of rebels south of Moscow. No. Unless he's just acceded to their demands, which is possible. Oh, of course, a bunch of these are Strelsky as well, which do 10% more damage. As if Russia needed more bonuses. I don't really understand why they got the Strelsky. I think this was silly. This was a silly choice. Russia were good enough without it. And it makes nations like Prussia seem less powerful in relation. Austria should really consider helping Poland now before the buffer dies. Yeah, they should. And I do wonder if Poland is getting any subsidies from anyone. That is something I will check in just a moment. Poland, are you getting subsidized? You are, by Castile. So the only friend that they can find right now are the Castellan. So why is Castile concerned about Muscovite expansion? Possibly because of the Crimea. The only other ones that might be concerned would be the Ottomans, but the Ottomans are not a player today. And there we go, peace has been declared. And Muscovy did take over Tubchevsk. But this does not stop Poland's ability to form the Commonwealth. And I would say that that was a fairly light peace deal that Muscovy demanded there. So this was very much a war of opportunity, just wanting to take some territory. Though they did get Smolensk. This is an area of fair development. It's all flat lands, well, these two are. Oh, and they lost the fort up here in Polotsk. Polotsk, Toropets, Vyzima. So they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces. I would say that was a fairly light war. Also, probably money. Nope, no debt. No dockets. So Poland can now assist Brandenburg in their coalition war. Hey, Helson.
Sometimes I'm too nice for my own good.
That's what I was just saying. That was an
opportunity. I could have screwed both of them over so bad.
Yeah, you really could, especially as Brandenburg's fighting a coalition right now, which I'm guessing is why you declared.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, coalition? Oh, really? Revenge is sweet, my friend.
Revenge is very sweet.
He's like, what? It's like, yeah, remember when you attacked me when I was in the middle of a war?
Yeah, so you took, what, 6 provinces, if I counted right?
Yeah, I took basically Poltux to finish up the Pskov state. I took Tropolis to finish the Tver state, or whatever it is, and then Smolensk province.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely could have taken more, but you probably also want to have the Polish-Lithuanian buffer between you and Austria, and possibly even between you and the Ottomans.
Yeah, honestly, I have a feeling the biggest threat to me is going to actually be Oirat. So
I suspect you're right. Or possibly even... Well, I don't want to say too much, but yes, probably.
So, yeah, well, I mean, it could be the Ottomans, Mamelukes, and Ajam, because they're all cooperative playing, but yeah.
Well, the Mamelukes are probably going to be a good counter against Ottomans, because there's definitely no love lost between those two. And then possibly Bahmanis, because Bahmanis right now are first, overall.
Yeah, well, the way the rules are set, I'm pretty much not going to make anything, or any points, because half the victory points are all on islands, which I have no coast, so...
Less people have been going for the provincial victory points than I expected, and it's actually the smaller countries that are doing that. So you make your points on great power status, income, military.
Yeah, which surprisingly I'm 4th in income, which I'll take.
I'm not surprised by that. You are pretty big.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm ahead of England.
Yeah, which... Okay, yeah, that does surprise me a bit. But that might be because England just attacked Scotland. They might still have debt and stuff.
Yeah, and I actually just dropped down. I was like 4th or 5th. Morocco, I was ahead of Morocco and France.
Morocco has been at war pretty much consistently.
The Papal States coming in 2nd is impressive.
Oh, you probably can't see all the countries.
Oh, well, I mean, for the countries in Europe, them being in 2nd is impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Papal States, especially with the size of Rome, has been really, really cool. Like, the Papal States, I think, are 3rd overall. Let me just bring that up again. Papal States are indeed 3rd overall right now, because of their city being so big. They've kept the highest ever province. 1st place twice.
That's it. Which I was going to try for that, but I just don't have any admin points. I have no points as Muscovy.
You're not as bad off as Japan. Japan have had a really rough time because of admin. Which is the other thing. 2 countries have now got a new tag. So you and Commonwealth are lagging behind.
Well, I couldn't until I get number 10, admin 10 anyways, and I can it's admin 8 now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've been watching that.
So I'll probably be a little behind because I'm going to get my next 2 admin ideas because I need to get religious ideas and start converting these Muslim processes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I am focusing it now because I finished up my defensive ideas. So the attrition Muscovy is on.
Yes, I did notice that. The other thing which has been really interesting is the Reformation. Not nearly as many players have taken Protestantism as I expected.
Yeah, surprisingly. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, because, well, there's not so many countries that would. Like, the countries I figured that would, and I figured Sweden would.
Sweden's not here, though.
But Sweden wasn't here, so he kind of got left out on that one, I think. But Brandenburg, I figured. Poland was kind of a surprise, especially he's going to have huge time with separatists between him being Protestant Catholic and then Lithuania being Orthodox.
Yep.
Which also, that's part of the reason I took my Orthodox provinces from him.
I was wondering if you were going to become the protector of the Orthodox religion.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably be like the only Orthodox.
Yeah, most likely. And then we've got Ethiopia still with Coptic, and they're religious Coptic.
Yeah. So good for him.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Chat has a really good point. What about the your Finnish heretic vassal?
Yeah, I was tempted to try to make the force religion on him.
I think you should. You are the defender of orthodoxy after all, and you have a heretic of a vassal.
Well, maybe once I get religious ideas, I'll do that so I can start converting him.
Mm-hmm. Because you may want to have a word, because he has been converting himself.
Oh, what, the Catholic?
Yeah.
From what? He shouldn't have had any Orthodox
He's
provinces.
got a bunch in Karelia.
Yeah, but maybe Kola? Yeah, I have to figure that out.
Yeah, you may want to have a word with him.
It's one of those things. It's like, what do I do?
Well, you are the boss man. You can slap him around, say, I will demand more things from your state if you don't do this.
Yeah, but that's, if I do that, that makes him like literally 100% thing. And if he doesn't play next week, and then Poland can get me back. So
true.
Supporting independence in Poland or Finland would suck right now.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Because we spent all this session literally like building up his economy and paying off his loans and stuff like that. So
yeah, I did notice they had an army of 0 for quite a long time. I was quite impressed he actually brought 10,000 men into that war. Anyway, I will let you get back.
Right. Yep. By the way, Perm is about to be annexed this year, so that vassal will be going away, and that will introduce the my problems with Voyrat will start.
Yep. I am looking forward to those conflicts.
Well, once I get to Tech 15 first, we'll be fine. Because once fire becomes a thing, yeah, the hordes start falling down.
True. If he's still a horde by then.
Yeah, I mean, Great Yuan, whatever. I'd rather him be Great Yuan or no, there's no way he's getting Mongolian Empire, but we'll see.
We shall. Anyway. Okay, so that was Helson from Muscovy giving us the feedback there. Definitely piecing out Poland-Lithuania for possibly less, but that might be a favour he can call in the future. Saying, remember that time when I could completely have destroyed you when you were in that war with the coalition, and I didn't? Yeah, how about you give me a buy here, or something? I mean, he still did declare war on them while they're in a coalition war, but Poland kind of did the same in the previous time. Flying Piano! Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So Ethiopia is still fighting against Adal. Couple of provinces currently being occupied by them. How's Africa doing? This is the area that I'm interested in, because I really want to see Congo getting institutions. Ah, we have Renaissance spread. How? Knowledge sharing. Aha! Who'd you get it from? Morocco. Morocco is now sharing the knowledge of feudalism with the Congo. Then the Congo is going to be able to get feudalism and then everything else from that point onwards. Congo does have exploration. So as soon as this... Oh no, they have expansion. That's not going to help them. The only way to get it is exploration. And we have Malacca currently fighting against Kutai, Cebu and Majapahit. Interesting. And Kutai is up there, fighting against Brunei. Oh, Brunei is allied to Malacca. Gotcha. Not a vassal or anything, are they? No, just allied. So, splitting Borneo between the two of them. Ming, meanwhile, having more and more problems. It does look like the war between Yu and Ming is over, and Yu is, in fact, independent. Wu is still a vassal, but Yu is now independent. Yu is, however, having problems with Langzang, who have seen the opportunity and are trying to expand northwards. Oirat, meanwhile, not currently at war, which is a little bit of a surprise, as Jam is fighting against Karakanulu, taking over some of the provinces while the Ottomans are not here. What else is going on? Ulm is at war again, rapidly regaining their territories. Ulm is fighting alongside their Frisian allies against Holland. Holland, Brabant and Flanders must have got their independence from Burgundy, which we would be able to check. Yep, Burgundy is now without vassals, without money, and with massive amounts of loans. 700 ducats. So Friesland should be able to take over the Holland provinces pretty easily, which is going to put them in a really good position for trade manipulation against England. I really hope that we do see a Netherlands player that doesn't just kowtow to the English, because they're one of the few countries that could probably compete and contest. Oirat needs Moscow to form the Mongolian Empire. Yeah, I think that's why Helston was like, yeah, Mongolian Empire, that's not going to happen. I have a feeling that's one fight that he would fight tooth and nail to prevent. Portugal is at war. Portugal is fighting against Ashanti, which are down here, expanding their holdings in Africa. Mean Wolf and Malacca we've already seen. Friesland we've already seen. Poland and Brandenburg still fighting their coalition war. Brandenburg being very passive in how they deal with this. The coalition admittedly also not really pressing the advantage very hard. Brandenburg is starting to build up some war exhaustion. However, Trier is all the way down to 36 war enthusiasm. So being more passive, allowing the occupations, and then just contesting any further occupations seems to be a pretty good way of waiting out this conflict, basically. Although they are definitely taking loans. They are 500 ducats in debt already, with more to come. Mamelukes, meanwhile, being in a war against Karakanulu as well, so splitting Karakanulu with Ajan between them. Again, cutting off Ottoman sources of expansion, so even though the Ottomans quite strong at the moment, they're not going to be able to grow very much after this point, as all of their sources of expansion around them are being cut off. Then we have Klemf over in the Bahmanis, just taking out more and more and more territory. I dread to think what their coalition size is like. Ratapur would join, Orissa would join, Gujarat would join. Sindh, however, would not. Malwa would join. So they may well see a coalition forming against Vijay would join against them in the future. And in fact, Jaunpur would join. That could be an interesting opportunity for next session. If Jaunpur made an alliance with Delhi, then triggered the coalition against Bahmanis, that would be one potential way of cutting them down to size a little. But Bahmanis would by no means be an easy one to take out. I mean, look at the number of forts they have down here. That would be an expensive war. In fact, Bengal's also grown. So, Bahmanis are actually this big. Bahmanis just pieced out. Yeah. Bahmanis are a real threat to both of the Indian nations. Friesland could form the Netherlands. Yep, they certainly could. Congo was at war. Congo is finally starting to gobble up some of their neighbours in a war which I would have said is way overdue. Age of Reformation is just triggered. However, they are going to have a coalition with all of these guys. So Chokwe, Kikonya, Luba, Kazembe, Rwanda. Oh no, not Rwanda. They're safe from these guys, but 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. Although they probably have truces. Nope. Nope. Yes. And with them as well. So the truces would protect them for the time being. If they're improving relations with them, then they could burn down the aggressive expansion before it becomes a problem. Bahmanis are close to getting aboard with Ayutthaya. Yes, they are. And then he'll be really big. I mean, I think that Malacca would have something to say with Bahmanis expanding into Ayutthaya like that. Sorry, my microphone keeps on crackling and it's annoying me. We haven't had any slowdowns recently, thankfully. Or he could just annex the ones that he doesn't have truces with. That is also true. Morocco and Tunis have done a great job of consolidating Africa. Mamluks being somewhat stymied by Ethiopia here. I do wonder if either of these are going to go colonial so that they could expand into these territories. I mean, Ethiopia, it would actually behoove them to take expansion, I think. Because that's going to be a lot of free turf around them that they could just absorb. I don't think the Mamelukes are going to do that. I mean, I've seen AI Mamelukes taking exploration to take these territories, and then they do eventually end up in Indonesia. Oh, excuse me. Not nearly enough sleep last night. Oh. Spent too long trying to fix computer issues. So yeah, Mamelukes or Ethiopia. I think that Ethiopia would be a good choice because they could take these two territories. If they take out Ajuran, or at least this province, then they could also have access to the rest of Africa, and that would be an easy method for Ethiopian expansion here. And Tunis could take expansion to expand the other way, but I think Tunis's opportunities are rather more limited, especially as they don't have a coastline down here. If Tunis had taken one of these provinces, which would have given them an Atlantic coast, then maybe they could have expanded in towards America. Ethiopia at least has this whole bit of Africa to expand into, and they could potentially go towards Indonesia. And the Mamelukes definitely could. So basically, the first of these two to take exploration or expansion would get a lot of power by doing so. Although the question does remain, how good are these provinces? Actually not terrible, this, just steppe. And steppe's not that expensive to develop. It's not a huge amount of development available here, but relatively easy to build up. This stuff being desert, not as valuable. But then there's also, of course, the trade goods. Almost certainly to be livestock. A little bit of chance for wool, slaves, or grain, but probably livestock. Then down here, livestock, slaves, wool. And then a chance for gold and gems once you get into the interior of Africa. And this is where the payoff can really start to get better. Gems, salt, gold, grain, iron. Then down here you'll start getting things like ivory. Tropical wood. What's the Austrian colonial range? Oh, they can actually read. Austria went exploration, didn't they? Did I check Austria's ideas earlier? I did not. I completely forgot about Austria. I am so sorry. Because yes, Austria have innovative and exploration. Hey, Ira.
Hey, I was just asking because in the rules it's not saying, and I thought it did.